So Pocket Anime just dropped some really good news, like I mean amazing, and I'll show you guys why. I mean, they didn't only give us in-game sneak peeks, they also gave us like really important information. And real quickly, for those that haven't heard about Pocket Anime, it's essentially like Pokemon but with different anime characters. I have 2 other videos on it, but let's get straight into the news. So the first thing that Pocket Anime said actually has to do with the whole early access and testing phase. But if we're realistically talking about it, it has a lot to do with release date, like I mean a lot. So for those that don't know the history to Pocket Anime, essentially we got a trailer over a year ago now. That trailer was sometime in 2022, and in that trailer they confirmed release for 2023. And now you guys might know now that it's 2024, and obviously we didn't get Pocket Anime in 2023. But in the most recent trailer that I'm sure a lot of you guys seen, we got the announcement of the testing phase. And some people thought they already started testing, but that's actually not true. They were just announcing that testing is gonna start soon. So even though people like myself, for example, I have tested for Pocket Anime, but I actually haven't played the game yet. I have not tested. Now I don't think that goes for all the testers. I'm pretty sure there are a select few people that actually have tested the game, and I'll tell you guys why later. But now that you guys actually understand the context, let me explain what they said. So the owner of Pocket Anime named Ark pinged everyone and said, "Hey everyone, exciting news. We've been hard at work behind the scenes preparing for the upcoming testing phase that's set to begin in February." So as you guys just heard, it's confirmed for February early access or testing phase. And I've seen a lot of people think that early access is separate than the actual testing phase, but if you look up, it says early access equals tester role and group rank. So they pretty much literally said early access equals tester, so I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But if you guys don't understand how big of a deal this is, let me put it in perspective. So the first thing is, this early access or testing phase doesn't seem to be simply a testing phase, but let me explain what I actually mean by that. So apparently this early access or testing phase won't be media banned, and for those that don't understand really what that means, essentially media ban means that we can record or stream it as content creators. And obviously if the game isn't very polished or isn't fully finished or isn't in a recordable state, obviously you don't want people recording. So I'll give you an example. A game like Grand Kaizen, they should have had a media ban because the game looked trash, straight up disgusting. And then essentially you would lift that media ban when the game actually looks good. But if Pocket Anime isn't even having a media ban, that most likely means there's already a lot of bug fixes and things like that in the game. It's probably in a playable state, essentially is what that means. And not just a playable state, but a state where people can actually watch it and not think, damn, this game is trash, because they want the game to get good publicity, not bad publicity, obviously. But what that does mean is SwiftDFG could be making Pocket Anime videos in something like 10 days from now. So if you guys want to subscribe, I'm gonna get you guys with all Pocket Anime content, guides or tier lists, anything you need for Pocket Anime, I'm gonna get you. But like I said, this announcement has a lot to do with the actual release date of the game. Obviously they didn't give us an exact release date, and I really don't expect them to. And the main reason I don't expect them to give us one until they're actually fully 100% done and ready to release is because they actually already promised to release in 2023, and like I said, they didn't do that. So I don't think they want to go back and do that again. Usually when I see a game promise a release date once and delay it, they usually don't give a release date until a way later time or when they're 100% ready. But even with that being said, this is still really good news. If the game is in a recordable state for February, which is like 10 days from now arguably, even if it's late February, that's like a month from now maybe, that means the testing phase will most likely not take that long. Now obviously it could still definitely depend and vary a lot in how long the testing phase lasts, but I personally wouldn't be surprised if the testing phase only lasted like a month. I mean, that's definitely not guaranteed, but if the game released in March, I wouldn't be surprised. There is a chance they still want to add a lot more content, and maybe the early access phase is just like a short amount of content, but it's really well polished and recordable. Now that's definitely a possibility, and if that was the case, I'd be more confident in something like a summer release. But there's also a reason I don't think that's very likely, so we're probably still in the clear here. So once again, the owner of Pocket Anime, Ark, said a small sneak peek at what's coming. PvP will be a part of the testing phase, and this is a good thing for a lot of reasons. The first thing is obviously PvP is going to help in balancing the game and figuring out what's too strong and what's too weak. And obviously this also confirms that PvP will most likely be a big thing on release. I mean, at the end of this message, he literally says excited to find out who will emerge as the champion. I don't know if there's going to be a tournament system or he's just saying that for fun, but it most likely means there's going to be some sort of ranked game mode. I mean, in the image attached, it looks like some sort of battle station. Maybe you go there and you get TP'd to actually PvP someone random in a different server. I mean, I really don't know how else that could work. If you guys have played other Pokemon type games, I'm pretty sure it works like this, but maybe you guys could tell me if it's different. But at the very least, you could also look at this as another thing that probably shows this game is somewhat close to release. I mean, I assume that PvP is mostly an end game and late game thing. You're not going off spawn with your level 1 Luffy and level 3 Marine and PvPing people. That's just not how Pokemon type games work. So if a lot of the late game content is already in the game or gonna be in the game in a few weeks at least, that most likely means that the early to mid game content is pretty well established as well. Now obviously that is just speculation, could be completely wrong, but at the very least it's not a bad sign. Now before I get into the sneaks they gave us, I do want to real quickly mention you guys can still get early access. I'm pretty sure the system is similar to Rail C's. You gotta buy some sort of server subscription and then you have an application from there. And now for those of you guys that don't plan on buying the subscription to try to get tester, like I said, I will be making content as soon as we're able to and just keeping you guys updated on everything that happens, so definitely make sure to subscribe. But if this wasn't enough good news, we also did get some sneak peeks. The first one is a Gara sneak peek, and I mean all the glaze when I say this. I just don't understand how they're able to animate like all the individual moves in this game when even official like Nintendo doesn't do that. They're a Roblox studio doing what official AAA companies don't do. But looking past that, I do want to mention that Gara is not a demon type, even though he does have a tail beast. So that also does kind of give off the impression that later versions of Naruto will also not have the demon type. But to be honest, I think it's really because Gara gets his tail beast extracted, so it wouldn't make sense to give him demon type and then he gets weaker, because for those that don't know, demon type looks really busted. So essentially, if they did give Kid Gara demon type, you'd actually be punishing him when he evolves, because he would lose his demon type, so he'd get weaker. I mean, of course he'd have better stats and whatnot, but that doesn't change the fact that you're actually making him lose a lot of his strength when he evolves, so that just makes sense to not give it to him in the first place. And now we also did get a sneak of the character Lambo from the anime Hitman Reborn, if y'all know what that is. I'm gonna be real, I don't know much about Hitman Reborn, but this is definitely good news. The first thing is I'm pretty sure Lambo has a lot of easy evolutions to throw in the game, so I'm pretty sure that's why he got added. But this also means that there's potentially an entire Hitman Reborn arc in the game. I do really wish they would clarify if there's characters in the game that don't have an actual in-game arc, but they're still characters from that arc in the game. But if they do have an entire Hitman Reborn arc, that means they have a ton of content. I mean, they've already shown us a bunch of arcs confirmed to be in the game. And if they're already adding more niche arcs like Hitman Reborn, I'd be very surprised if they don't have a ton of content. And now I also want to talk about some potential pocket anime drama. Now I could be instigating and looking too much into it, but let me explain this whole situation and y'all tell me what you think. So pocket anime really only has one main competitor right now, and that's called Tales of Tenorio. Now Tales of Tenorio is also a Pokemon creature catching type game with custom Pokemon instead of anime characters like pocket anime. But I do know that Tales of Tenorio is confirmed to be releasing on February 17th, I believe. So you guys might be able to tell where I'm going with this. Pocket Anime's only main competition is releasing in February, and you mean to tell me coincidentally Pocket Anime is gonna drop early access to the game with no restrictions for content creators, so content creators can make Pocket Anime content. And now if you can't tell, that's most likely gonna hurt Tales of Tenorio, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of big content creators are gonna be busy making content for Pocket Anime, so they're not gonna make content at Tales of Tenorio. And this situation might suck because Roblox is so dry right now, and you're telling me we're gonna have two games like that back to back? I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I hope at least one of them releases like a week before the other, so I at least have some time to switch between the games. But me personally, I'm definitely on Team Pocket Anime. I'm not gonna lie, I'm more interested in it, so I'd probably lean towards making content on that. But you guys let me know what you guys think, because I'll probably prioritize what the audience, you guys, want me to make content on. But if y'all want to do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, it makes a big difference in the algorithm, and it only takes like 1 second. Also, if you guys are interested in more Roblox anime games, click the video on screen right now. Love y'all, later.